If you are storing dozens of variables one by one, you're doing it wrong. Let's talk about Python lists. If you've ever needed to store more than one value in a single variable, a list is exactly what you need. Think of it like a container that holds multiple items in a row, all under one name. A list keeps those values in order, allows duplicates, and can hold any type of data, numbers, words, even other lists. Here we have a variable called fruits with 3 items. When we print it, Python shows all 3 together inside square brackets, separated by commas. That's all a list is. One variable, many values, always in order. Now that we know what a list is, let's see how to actually create one. And there are 3 common ways to do it. The first is an empty list, nothing inside, ready to be filled later. You'd use this when you don't know the items up front and plan to add them as your program runs. The second is a mixed types list. Python doesn't care if your items are different types. Here the variable data holds a name, an age, and a Boolean all together, and that's perfectly fine. The third is a nested list, a list that contains other lists inside it. Here matrix holds 2 inner lists, which is useful for things like grids or tables. The big idea: lists have no fixed size and no fixed type. Let's talk about how to access individual items inside it. And for that we use something called an index. And that's how you grab individual items. Here we have animals with 4 items. Python numbers them starting from 0. So cat is at position 0, dog at 1, and so on. That 0-based counting is one of the most important habits to build early. It trips up almost every beginner at least once. Python also lets you count from the other end using negative numbers. -1 is always the last item, -2 is second to last, and so on. 2 directions, same list, it gives you a lot of flexibility. Before we move on, there's one tricky thing about negative indexing worth understanding. Look at the fruits list. If -1 gives you the last item, you might naturally assume -0 gives you something from the end too. But it doesn't, and the reason has nothing to do with Python. -0 simply equals 0 in mathematics. It's not a special value. So when Python sees -0 as an index, it treats it exactly like 0 and goes straight to the first item. So if you ever want the last item, always reach for -1. -0 will silently give you the wrong answer. Okay, now let's look at one of the most useful built-in functions when working with lists, the len function. It does exactly one thing. It tells you how many items are in your list. Pass your list in, get a number back. Here, fruits has 4 items, so len gives us 4. An empty list gives us 0. One pattern worth keeping in your head: the last valid index is always 1 less than the length. If a list has 4 items, the last index is 3. Next up is the an operator, and it answers a simple question. Is this item in my list? You get back either true or false, nothing else. Here we check if apple is in fruits. It is, so Python says true. We check for mango. It's not there, so we get false. Python also has not in, which does the opposite. Since mango is not in the list, mango not in fruits gives us true. What makes this powerful is that Python handles all the searching behind the scenes. You don't need to write a loop, check each item manually, or track any positions. One clean expression, one honest answer. And finally, let's talk about slicing, one of the most powerful things you can do with a list. Slicing grabs a range of items in one go. The syntax has 3 parts: start, stop, and step. Start is where you begin. Stop is where you end, but think of it as go up to here, not including it. Step controls how you move. All 3 are optional. Take the first example. Animals 1 to 3 starts at dog and goes up to, but not including index 3. So we get dog and bird. Now the second one. When you leave out the start, Python begins from the very beginning of the list. So animals with no start gives us cat and dog. Third example. A step of 2 skips every other item as it moves through the list. So we get cat, bird, and frog. Last one. A step of -1 walks the entire list backwards. one line to reverse an entire list, and that is something worth remembering. Thank you so much for watching this tutorial. I hope you found this lesson helpful and easy to understand. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. It really helps the channel grow. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more beginner-friendly programming tutorials and helpful tips. Feel free to comment your questions or thoughts below. I love hearing from you, and I try to respond to every comment. And don't forget to hit the bell icon so you get notified whenever I upload new videos. See you in the next lesson.